So, having your content get a lot of attention, but for the wrong reasons, is definitely not something that feels good as a smaller YouTuber. Uh, Let me explain what happened. I'm addressing this a little bit late compared to when this whole thing was starting, and of course it started on Twitter, of all fucking places. But I think like 2 days ago. I think it was like night or something, one of the people in my Discord that I've played games with before was notified by someone else on Twitter that a screenshot on a thread related to Palworld, it was related to AI stuff tied to Palworld. There's like a whole thing going on. There's just such a fucking, it's a clusterfuck at the moment, but I didn't know it was about that, though, at the time. The first thing I saw was a screenshot, and it was like something in the AI Art Impostor game that I had streamed with some friends back in February, early 2023. And it was someone noticed their name in a screenshot. And it was like one of the things that they had generated with the prompts. There's a lot of misunderstandings about that game, by the way. I'm going to have to explain it because there's been a lot of talk. I've had to talk with people about it. I'm guessing the store page for that game doesn't give the correct understanding of what it is because of wording and you know, I found out that AI Art Impostor was made by the same people as Palworld. That's another revelation. I found out through all this, but anyways, let me get back to it. Palworld is also made by... It's the same developer, but they're also they're not a Western developer, so whatever wording they used probably in their game store pages or something probably isn't giving like the best idea of what the game is about, perhaps. I'll get to that, though. Anyways, with the screenshot, I was notified about it, and then I guess it was like in a thread that was going around, a viral thread, and my first impression was, I didn't know it was related to somebody, like, people fighting over shit related to Palworld. So I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. My VOD is getting attention, and I was told it was because there weren't a lot of English like YouTubers or VTubers in my case that had covered the game. It was actually viral with Japanese VTubers for a while, and then I was suggested it. And I didn't know anything else around it at the time. I saw some footage of how Japanese VTubers were playing, and then I was explaining how it worked, and then we ran some tests, and then I did like a stream or two of it, and that was it. I haven't gone back to it, but it's a pretty fun game. But I was like, oh, cool! Like my video is getting attention, and I got kind of like excited because I was like, as a smaller YouTuber, I have 2 channels, by the way. I have this on my main channel, of course. This video is on my main channel, and I do a bunch of random stuff on this one. And then I have the VOD channel. VOD channel is not monetized or anything, by the way. The VOD channel is just a place for me to dump my stream VOD so that they're archived somewhere. And so it's not a channel that gets a lot of attention. It's a really new channel, of course. I made it like a year ago or something like that, or a year or 2 ago. So of course it's like a baby channel, and even then it's got a okay subscriber amount in it for baby channel. It doesn't, like, a lot of videos might not get a lot of views. Once in a while something gets a decent amount of views. It's random sometimes, but sometimes because I'm covering, I like to play a lot of weird games sometimes. Sometimes I play like Japanese games and stuff too, but because of that, you know, occasionally I might get a dev that will comment on the video. Like recently, one thing that was really cool is I ended up playing Disdain, Depravity of the Night, which is like a really cool Castlevania-like game on Dreams. And the dev commented on that. I haven't put all the VODs up yet of that, because my VOD backlog is just life. life has kicked me in the butt for like quite a few years now. So in terms of when it comes to my output of like a lot of stuff, videos, art stuff, creative stuff, whatever it is, it's been slow. I do what I can. But like the VOD channel is definitely way behind, and like there's a lot of old and new stuff that gets uploaded to it in whatever order. So views on there, like it really depends on what it is. But like I said, once in a while something hits. It depends on what it is. That's why I was like happy at first. I was like, oh, cool. And then I was like, that motivates me. I want to go stream some more like shit that not a lot of people have covered. And then later I find out through like links to I think there were like two different threads about that were trending quite a bit. Like the discussion was like all over Twitter, but there were like, I think there were two main threads that people were sharing related to AI Art Impostor being a previous game that the Palworld devs had made. And so I was looking through the threads. There's one that like links the store page first of AI Art Impostor, and then under it I find that they posted some screenshots of like from my VOD, and then like some people under it, like they posted clips of it, and a few others. Like it's probably, I haven't seen all the tweets that may have been sharing the video or clips from it. I've seen a few, but the video itself, which at the moment, because I was pissed off about it, I had privated it last night. I may end up privating it after putting this video. I'll probably unprivate it, but I'm probably going to link this video so people know how I feel about it. Basically being used to, in someone's argument, to not support Palworld because of they made a game that uses like AI stuff in it, which it's not quite what it seems. It's also just a tuber bait game, really. I think people are taking some of this stuff a little too seriously. Palworld also, which by the way, a lot of my friends are playing that, and I had slightly considered playing it, like maybe for FOMO reasons or whatever, but it's not really for me. I don't have a lot of interest in it. I won't knock anyone, playing it, but I still kind of feel like, just with like the AI Art Impostor game, it's like, Palworld especially kind of sold itself as like it's a parody, it's satire of, monster catching stuff. It very much sold itself off of that, and I don't know how much steam it's going to have. It's in early access too. It needs, from what I've seen, it does have a lot of cool stuff in it. A mix of so many mechanics from different games. I guess it's kind of like what people said about, I think, Genshin. Remember when Genshin came out? Like, I haven't played Genshin, or I just remember like when I think Genshin was coming out. It was like one of those other like it's like a crafting, fighting, like gacha game or something like that. But Palworld is like a mix. It's like a crafting survival game with like Pokemon elements and a bunch of other stuff apparently that I've seen that friends and other folks have shared. But otherwise, I don't really have a lot of interest in it, so I just don't intend to play it. There are definitely other... Thing is like, when it comes with me in games these days, especially because of life and stuff, if I want to put my money and time towards something, I want to make sure it's like actually like completely worth my time. I do like playing like one-off like indie games and stuff like that, so I don't mind supporting those folks, but I just like it's not really for me. I just, especially like a multiplayer game, I have like, I'm going to be finishing SMT3 Nocturne soon, and then after that, I have basically the Yakuza series staring at my face, like, waiting for me to play that, and I have people waiting on me to, like, get into that. So I'd rather just, like, when it comes to games right now, I'd rather, like, get started on that, and there's, like, Dragon's Dogma 2, that will be coming out, and I am interested in that. So Palworld it's like one of those things that's like everyone's playing right now, and it's trending because either because people are enjoying playing with it, and just the way that it's built, like with the different like hilarious elements in it, and of course it's also trending because of the controversy that I got caught in the crossfire, like my stuff, my video, my bot on it, and it doesn't make me happy. Like, I've looked through the threads and, like, replies and the fighting between, like, people who are for or against Palworld, and I guess there was, like, two things going on, too, related to it. Number one was the Palworld devs making the AI Art Impostor game, and number two, there was another thing going on where I guess Pokemon fans were trying to tear Palworld apart due to, like, they were accusing either accusing them of possibly using AI to generate, like, concepts, or just ripping off Pokemon, which it is a parody. Like, I'm not, like, I'm neutral here on this stuff, by the way. I'm the middleman, but I'm also, and so I'm kind of like, just please leave me the fuck alone and don't drag me into your bullshit. Leave my stuff alone. I'm a small YouTuber. Please don't use my shit and, like, drag me into your fucking war about that. And on Twitter too, especially, like, of course it's on Twitter where they're fighting about this stuff and doing call-out threads and everything, and then they're using stuff from my video and screenshots with my friends' names and everything like that, and not really. I mean, I would say they're not crediting me on it either, but, like, I don't. It's probably a good thing they're not, because why would I want my name attached to that? They're already using, like, my video for the arguments and everything. It just kind of sucks for me, really. Like, I just want to stay away from it. Don't pull my shit, please. Like, I don't want to be a part of your arguments or your war on it. Like, I don't want to be either side. Just leave me alone. I'm trying to stay out of that shit. And also, I'm someone who's not on Twitter. Like, I left it. I noticed on the VOD, the AI Art Impostor VOD, which I should mention also. I had no idea, because I was wondering, why do they use mine specifically, but it's because, I know I private it now, but I don't know if they'll show up the same way if I unprivate it after this, but when I searched it myself, it was like I think it was the third result after the developer's own videos, so mine was showing up, for Let's Plays for, like, English, VTubers playing it, which is like really bizarre because it's not a big channel, and I'm pretty sure that video didn't have a lot of views before people found it. It's just crazy. But my main presence isn't on Twitter, and I noticed on that video I had my old Twitter linked, so I don't know if anyone tried to anyone that was, like, that came from Twitter to look at the video. I don't know if they actually tried to click on that profile or not and notice it was, like, deleted, but I didn't delete my account because of this at all. I had removed myself, like, most of my presence from Twitter, like, way back, because I just wasn't dealing with, the bullshit on Twitter, the owner and just all that shit. I just don't want to deal with it. It's a sinking ship. But, so I had moved to, like, Mastodon, and I'm currently using Blue Sky at the moment, and things are peaceful. I'm trying to enjoy my peace here, especially since I've been dealing with a lot of shit in my own life, in Meat Space, and, because of that, Meat Space just being hell and a lot of stuff going on, like, I go online and, kind of use that as, like, my way to escape, and because of that, I don't, if I use any social media, I really don't want to, I don't want to delve into the negativity or people's, like, back and forth arguing and everything like that, especially, that's a big thing on Twitter too, the rage baiting and the the fighting and stuff like that. That's a place that's big for it. Just don't want to be tied to it or associated or anything like that. I really don't. But yeah, I'm not on there. I have like maybe I have a small account that I use, like a throwaway account that I just use to follow SMT artist, and you know, look at pictures of my blue boy over here, and just be happy because I'm trying to, you know, I had a lot of rough stuff going on with my life, and I just got done with the move. Also, I just moved into a new place. And, you know, I've been in unpacking hell, and then to just get on the computer, and it's been a little time at, and then find out this stuff happened, and people are fighting, and then, of course, using my video for it. It just sucks, like, for a game that came out, and, with the AI art discussions and everything, it just sucks. I wanted to say with the AI Art Impostor, if I decide to unprivate the video, the only reason I'm doing it is to show, you know, have it as an example to show people how it actually works, because I don't think the store page of that game gives it a good example. But let me just kind of explain how it works. But with AI Art Impostor, it's kind of like a Jackbox game in a way, and you have like a lobby of people, and you have like a main theme that gets chosen, and then like a sub theme, and like one or two people in the group of people that you play with are the imposters. So the imposters will know what the main theme is. So for example, let's say the main theme is like video games, and like the sub theme of it is Mario Brothers. So they're gonna know that the thing that they're supposed to generate prompts for is video game related, but they don't know which video game. And so when you start the game, everyone has to basically there is like a generator in it, and it is definitely imperfect, and that's good. That's a good thing. It's good that it's imperfect. So I noticed some people in the threads for the Palworld AI Art Impostor thing were saying like, oh, it's bad because it would be better if it was people were drawing instead. I agree that it would be. It's definitely something that can be translated over to drawing. You could probably even like freelance a game like that on Gartic Phone, and you know, run a game like that in Gartic Phone and kind of make it work. But the thing about drawing is, no matter your skill level, that puts you in full control over what, like, you're depicting. And when you use the AI art generator in that game, because of how imperfect it is, and because like it's buggy sometimes, and occasionally it will like just randomly generate like it doesn't show. I don't think it shows actual not safe work images. I think it shows like a sensor thing, because it will detect. Sometimes it will wrongly detect something and censor it, so it puts like a little censor of it. But it's kind of funny because the whole idea is, so you're supposed to be generating, so everyone who is artist, by the way, and not an imposter, is supposed to generate something related to the Mario Brothers, but you don't want to give it away to the imposters that it's Mario Brothers, so you have to use the prompts to generate something really obscure. And it could be really fucking even if you use like a perfect prompt, whatever it like generates is probably going to be like garbage, and it should be that way. It's good that it generates garbage and not something that looks perfect or whatever, because that actually like makes the game better in a way. Like when people like are trying to figure out what the fuck, it makes it harder to figure out who is an imposter or not, who actually knows that it's like that the theme is Mario Brothers and not like, you know, the AI makes it funnier in a way, versus like being able to draw it and having like 100% control over what you're drawing. Although like drawing could make it even more creative, I think. You know, it's just like a different vibe between like drawing it and then having the AI, you know, generate like, you know, stupid shit, try and get like the point across basically. But I'm rambling. trying to explain this. Anyways, after you guys generate your pictures, which it's an art generator, and it does use like different styles, which can be, I don't know which one it's based on, but I know that could be like, you know, controversial because like, oh, it's probably one of the ones that are trained on different artist styles, so I get that. I don't think the styles are necessary. It really doesn't need like the different like art styles. You don't need to have like anime style or abstract or Renaissance or whatever. Just having like a basic image generator would have been fine. They didn't need to like make it fancy or anything. To could have even had like a photo one, and that could have worked just fine. But yeah, after you generate your stuff at the end of the game, everyone has to figure out, okay, who actually knew the theme was Mario Brothers, and who didn't actually know and was just kind of bullshitting their way through it. Because if you're an imposter, you only know that it's video games. You don't know that it's Mario Brothers. I'm using it as an example. So what you would do as an imposter is like, you kind of like pay attention to what everyone else is generating. And then you kind of go like, okay, maybe it's like something related to this game or this. So you have to kind of like bullshit your way through it and trick people into thinking that you know what it is. That's the whole gist of the game, is just like trying to bullshit. So I guess the controversial thing is that it just uses an AI image generator. That's it. It's not trying to... It's not something you'd take seriously. It's just a tuber bait game. One thing I noticed in discussion with someone about the game, based on what was described on the store page, is that it used the word artists, and people are probably seeing usage of the word art and artists and thinking it means people actually being artists and generating art and trying to like, oh, I'm a real art. Like, I think people are misunderstanding the wording of the page and thinking like, oh, I'm using this thing to be an actual artist. No, it's only in the context of the game, because you have people who are artists and then you have people who are imposters. It's just a way to distinguish between who's an imposter and not imposter, and then it's just done. The styling of it is just done, and like, oh, people are generating art. And I know like use of that wording can cause some problems, but it's not that deep, honestly. So outside of that, it's just such a clusterfuck with the Palworld stuff right now, and I don't want to be near it, honestly. I won't knock anyone enjoying it. It's just because it's like any other thing that also is related to Pokemon. Oh, my arm went out there. It's like, oh, it's another thing tied, you know, the Pokemon fans. I don't know. I'm someone who's played some of the Pokemon games, so it's not like I haven't. I played like you know, Blue, Red, Gold, Silver, and then like I was out of it for a while, and then I did enjoy X and Y and Sun and Moon, and I have some of the other ones I haven't fully played, so it's not like I haven't enjoyed Pokemon, but I'm someone who like kind of when it comes to like monster catching stuff or the monster genre, when it comes to video games or things like that, it just didn't. I fell out of it, and you know, I got into Digimon. I was hardcore into fucking Digimon for a while. And way after I was in Digimon, and I had my other video game fixations, I actually got into Shin Megami Tensei, which is a lot like they both kind of pull from each other. And of course, Shin Megami Tensei is like the grandfather essentially of all the monster catching stuff, which a lot of people don't fucking know. But my point in bringing this up in is like, it's always Pokemon that like brings up this shit, like it's such a huge, I know like out of all the monster stuff, it's like the hugest thing. It has such a hardcore fan base, and it can get really crazy and you know, vitriolic even, and it makes it hard, I think, for people who aren't like who are kind of outside and observing. It's just, I don't know. It's like, I just wish it. It's someone who's into like other stuff related to monsters, and like everything gets compared to Pokemon, and everything gets seen in the lens of like Pokemon. It just kind of sucks sometimes, especially when there's other stuff out there. Me especially, like getting more into like Shin Megami Tensei these days, which people. I remember when I first knew about it, people were like, "Oh, satanic Pokemon," and it's like, no, it's not really. Don't compare it to Pokemon at all. It came out before Pokemon, way before that. Megami Tensei, that's your fucking grandfather there. That's the one who started it, amongst some other stuff. And then Digimon ended up. I read a thing recently where Digimon, I'm not surprised about this at all, but Digimon took some inspiration from SMT as well. But it's just like, a lot of this shit, like, happening, like, things getting compared and like, picked apart in comparison to Pokemon. And with Palworld, it was obvious, like, even when they were advertising it, it was so fucking obvious that it's satirical. Like, it's so fucking on the nose satirical. And I think even when the trailers were being shown, they showed parodies of Pokemon and stuff. And I don't know if people were throwing a fit about it then. I don't know. Like, it just seemed that's what it was. Like, that's what it was. It's just like it's parody or anything. People are taking that way too seriously. Although, like people who are criticizing it are maybe taking it a little too seriously. But there are people playing it who really like it right now, who are also like playing it like a serious game. So there's that other thing. But yeah, I think like it's just, to me it just seems like another like tuber bait game that's gonna go viral for a while, and I don't know if it's gonna keep its steam. Like I said, I'm not gonna knock anyone playing it, but it's just like it's gonna come and go. Like I think it's just gonna come and go. So I don't know if it's if people like getting in a fit over it is gonna be like, worth the energy or not. Like there's probably plenty of other things you could be putting that energy into if you're gonna criticize stuff. Which, by the way, one thing that I find kind of funny is someone who's not really on Twitter anymore. It just kind of I despise that place. But the people who are getting into these fights over support over AI related stuff, or things that use like AI generated like art or whatever it is, but they're on Twitter of all places. Like do you know who owns it now? Like it's kind of like, do you remember who actually owns Twitter now? Which is, it's X now, but hey, do you know like the kind of stuff that guy is invested in when it comes to AI, and I kind of doubt it's, when it comes to, I doubt it's completely ethical either. Like I doubt that particular person. I don't see who it is. You know who it is. Given his track record, I can't imagine when it comes to AI stuff, with his investment in AI, I can't imagine he cares whether it would be used ethically or not. So people who are like, waging this war over it, but still like on Twitter at the same time, like it's hard to take you seriously. Like if you're on that platform, but also saying, hey, don't do this, don't support this in relation to AI, why are you still on Twitter? Like, and I know some people's excuses are like, oh, well, who's gonna fight like for it? Like, we have to stay on Twitter. That's it. That's always the excuse I see when it comes to anything. Like, people justifying staying on a platform run by a guy who There's so much stuff. So many grievances against that particular person, and yet a lot of people who have grievances with that person still stay on the platform that he's running. So that's a whole other ballpark discussion. But yeah, I'm just saying, it just kind of reminds me of people who might fearmonger about like data and surveillance and everything like that, but they use like meta stuff. They like there's a lot of old folks who do that, who will complain about it but still use Facebook, and they don't use anything else. So it just kind of reminded me of it. Aside from that, I wanted to say, honestly, if you don't want to, when it comes to like an adult Pokemon game, also, I guess some people are dealing with, it's not everyone who's streaming it, but I guess some people have encountered, folks being obnoxious about it, and also bring up the fact that, it has like these, Palworld has these violent elements and stuff in it. It's a Pokemon-like, but it's violent and everything. I thought that was the point when they were advertising it. But I want to say, how about this? And I'm saying this especially as someone who plays other monster stuff, like outside of Pokemon, and please, for the love of God, maybe try playing something else for once, so you can get a different perspective on stuff, so you're not always seeing things through the lens of Pokemon, and comparing everything to Pokemon. Please. I know it's a hard thing to ask for some people who are really hardcore into it. But there are other things that, if you don't want to support Palworld, I'm not going to stop you. I don't care whether you play it or not. I don't have any interest in playing it. Like, I have friends who play it, but it's just not for me right now. Because, like, there are definitely other monster catching games. There's a bunch out there that you could support if you want. Like, and especially adult Pokemon likes. I hate saying Pokemon likes because Pokemon was not the one who actually like started the whole genre. It was actually Shin Megami Tensei. That's why I actually get obnoxious. I'm an obnoxious. I feel like I get very righteous about SMT sometimes, especially in this day and age. Every time something like controversial comes up about Pokemon and like, how the franchise is doing, and people wishing it would do this and that, and especially like for the mature audience, I'm just like, I'm just here sitting like, what? How about this? And I'm not saying SMT5 specifically, even though that was the most recent SMT game to come out on, which is on the Switch, by the way. It has its definitely has its performance issues, but I think now, this year or sometime, Atlas really needs to get on the ball importing it, because I think it would be important for people to actually experience that game and experience something different. That is a monster catching game that has adult themes and is open world like, has the monsters running around and stuff. I think it would be good for people to experience something different and explore and be introduced to a new series outside of like Pokemon or Digimon or anything like that. And poor Digimon, even as someone who was a hardcore fan, it's very, with the games, it's been very hit and miss. And I think one of the best games that are out, and I'm pretty sure it's on Steam, but if you do want to like maybe explore something. Let's say if you're a Pokemon fan and you're just kind of like, you burned up, whoa, my arms keep doing a thing. But let's say you're getting kind of burned out of Pokemon at the moment, and you're looking for something different. Maybe you were hoping Palworld was that and it disappointed you or whatever. Whatever's going on there, and you choose not to support it or play it. There's so many other things you could be getting into. There's also some indie games coming out that kind of take inspiration from like Pokemon or Digimon too. There's like this Cassette Beasts is one, but there's also I would recommend checking out Digimon Cyber Sleuth, which it's funny because I talk about SMT, but they had the same artist that worked on the Digital Devil Survivor games on DS. I think those were on Nintendo DS. I do have those. But the same artist that works on those did the character designs for Digimon Cyber Sleuth. And there was some, like, somewhat SMT elements in Cyber Sleuth, but it's definitely one... Like, if you've had some interest before in Digimon, but, like, some of the games in the past weren't quite doing it for you compared to Pokemon, I would definitely suggest checking out... Definitely suggest checking out Digimon Cyber Sleuth, and I think even the Digimon story games on the DS, really good. There's a new Digimon game. I think it's called Digimon Order or something like that. It's a tactics game. I haven't heard about it a lot, so I'm not sure if that one's still coming out or not, or being developed. I think it is, but like I really don't know if that one's going to be good or not. I know that Cyber Sleuth is good, though. So I'd recommend that to you. Play that one. SMT is good. I'm not mentioning Persona because Persona, a lot of people know about Persona. It's gotten incredibly popular. And I don't quite consider it the same in the monster catching genre as SMT, because SMT tends to be more focused on the monsters or the demons. It tends to be more focused on like the demon world or the monster world and less on the human characters compared to Persona. So if you want something that's more Digimon-esque, I would suggest, like, if you can get your hands on SMT5, or there's a remaster for SMT3, which I'm finishing up soon, and that one's really fucking good. There's those two. Hopefully they port 5. That would be good for people to get access, and then it's a little bit harder to access the, like, 4 came out on the 3DS. So Atlas would have to port that, and then like there's 1 and 2, which is on the Super Famicom, and that didn't get localized here. There are fan translations for them, though. They're more like very, very traditional and old school, so they're more like wizardry. So I guess if you want to actually experience something closer to the origins of Megami Tensei, and also experience something that actually started, like I don't want to say that it started, but it's definitely like one of the main origins of the monster catching genre. If you kind of want to just experience like what started it, like what was there in the early days before Pokemon and Digimon, you could try that. There's fan translations for SMT 1 and 2. There's even a PS1 translation as well. There's a bunch of different side games. I think like the Devil's Summoner games that have Raido in it. Those are interesting because all the different like Megami Tensei games, when it comes to the monsters, have different ways of like the monsters being contained, and I think Devil's Summoner definitely has that thing going on. So you might feel a slight Pokemon itch from that one, but they're all definitely adult themed. So if you're looking for something that is a monster catching game with more an adult flavor, I would suggest those games. And don't compare them to Pokemon, please. Please don't. Also, don't compare Digimon to Pokemon either. Just stop comparing stuff to Pokemon, please. And also stop like dragging me into shit. Like, I'm a small YouTuber, and I don't want to be dragged into anyone's shit on Twitter, please. Like, I really don't. So just leave me be. I think that's all I have to say about it, really. So, fucking chill out or something. Play some different goddamn games. If you're not going to play Palworld, you better take that energy and, like, support some other monster games or something. I don't know. So I was actually going to end this video. I was going to end the video, but I saw another comment, and that infuriated me, honestly. I was tempted to comment with my throwaway account that I used to admire art from SMT artist, because that's all I use to throw away at Cat Wars to share and admire SMT art. But I make my own VTuber model. Thank you. You know, I'm the person who made my model, and I've made stuff for other people. You know, I'm someone who's known for, you know, like doing creative shit, especially in like the Vine Sauce community. You know, over quite a few years. Mainly like 3D stuff, and like I've done like modding and everything. You know, all types of weird stuff that I've been involved with creatively. I dabble in so many areas. I may not be a professional in like one specific area of creative stuff. Like I do, like I've done like music and audio and like voice acting type stuff. I do 3D stuff, 2D stuff. I've done pixel art. I do I do a ton of different stuff. I'm just not someone that can like output just due to like life circumstances and health issues and everything like that, especially in like the past 4 years. I'm not someone who can put out stuff like constantly at all. Like I do get burned out pretty easy, but I do what I can. In fact, this is actually a recent model. This isn't a VTuber model, but it's definitely kind of the same vein in a way. I actually really like this one, which I did. This one, it was a commission. Now, in terms of 3D stuff and modeling and everything like that, I do so many weird things. I don't focus on one specific area, so in terms of like, you know, doing anything professionally, it's just like when I can. When I make, like, in terms of making stuff for other people and models and things like that, like, I just got, like, into 3D modeling in 2020 because, I got involved in, like, a charity project, for Vine Sauce, where I, contributed, like, some areas and a bunch of assets and things like that, for the game, and it's a charity thing, and then they end up using some of my other stuff in Vine Worlds as well. The first game's called Vine Realms, and there's a bunch of, I remember making a bunch of assets, and like there was some music and voice acting and like sound effects and stuff like that. But this model here is one I did, and like I really like it because it's got, I'm using this opportunity to show it, but this one has like a bunch of stuff on it. Actually, let me switch it here, but it has like the comp especially I really like, but so you have something that's kind of based on a Power Glove and everything, and it sort of has like the SMT inspiration. I don't think I have the context stuff on, but it usually summons like a little hologram here. I can show, you can actually take off the jacket, by the way, just like the one on mine. It has like a little decal thing. It's supposed to be like a snake. Ouroboros, because this one's called Aura. So it's Ouroboros in the back. And I can take, let's see, I can actually take everything off. So there's the back. Yeah, I'm using this opportunity, by the way, so I can show the stuff I worked on, because that tweet pissed me off. I hope Madge doesn't mind me wearing his avatar skin that I made at the moment. But yeah, I really like this one. And like, unfortunately I don't have audio link in this world. This one has like, this one can toggle off like other parts of audio too, but I won't do that at the moment. But where is the audio link here? Did I put it on here? I thought I did. Audio link. Yeah. I really like how the audio link. This is like when the, if you don't have audio link in World, this is just like a default thing it does. But I really like it. And there's like a little dragon thing on the thing there. Bunch of dragon and snake decals on this. Also you can see a little bit the thing here gets corrupted. The comp on the arm when I have like audio link on. And then the back as well. I really like this one. Like my actual, it's funny because the actual VTuber model I used, I've been using that one for quite a while. The one that ended up, the one that's in the VOD for the AI Impostor stuff. And that one's actually quite outdated. I haven't really updated it in a while, because especially for VR chat, I just run around as the Nahobino in VR chat, but eventually I'm probably going to make a new one. It's just a matter of, like, getting the time to actually sit down to it, because I'm the one that makes it. I make my own VTuber stuff. Thank you. It's actually a shame I haven't uploaded all the Vine Worlds, not Vine Worlds, the Vine Realms maps I did to VR chat, but, they're actually quite outdated compared to the ones that I did for, like, there's an updated version of Papa Dukes. Like, this one's even the VR chat version of Papa Dukes is even still outdated. Like, the one in the Vine Realms game is the original, and then you have this one, which is a newer one, and then you have an even newer one that's in Vine Realms. I ended up doing that's in Vine Worlds. In Vine Worlds, I add a bunch of stuff to that one, so that one's got a lot of extra stuff in the upper room and some updates and a bunch of, like, weird things I made. But I wanted to make a point that, like, it's funny. It sucks, like, you know, someone that is an artist, and you know, I'm not someone who could put out stuff constantly, so I think people might forget that. And I started out as a traditional artist, like, in, you know, from teens to the 20s and early 30s. Like, I have I just went through a big move, and when I was packing up boxes, I have, like, 2 big boxes of, like, drawings that I've done by hand. I use, like, pen or whatever. Just huge. I have huge stacks of drawings, because I used to do, I did, like, a bunch of monster concepts and a bunch of experimental art, body horror, and stuff like that. And only, like, a small amount of people that I used to interact with in the Resident Evil community have probably seen that stuff. And I've occasionally shared it when I was on Twitter and stuff, but I don't think a lot of people that know me now have probably seen a majority of the traditional art that I've done. So, and I was kind of like, oh, well, you know, I don't quite have the energy for that anymore. I do a lot of, I guess I like doing a lot of 3D stuff now. I'm learning that, you know, I started getting into 3D modeling more in 2020, and then learning Unity and all that. So I like being able to, I think my thing is like, I kind of want to eventually take, I have a ton of, like, concepts and stuff that I've drawn that I have sitting around. I've just a fuck ton of stuff to work off of my own stuff. And I guess eventually I kind of want to, like, start modeling a lot of the old, like, monsters and stuff that I've made, all the old characters. I think that's why I'm focusing more on 3D stuff now rather than 2D drawn art. But I still do 2D stuff occasionally, like concept art. If I want to just, like, scribble out an idea that I have, that's what I usually did, and it was fun doing that. And I wanted to make digging that stuff up. I eventually, for VR chat, I want to create a home for all those old drawings, like kind of like an old tomb or something, to put all this old drawings so people can see it. I'm not like some people don't like. I'm not a professional, but I don't have any shame in my old art either. Like, I still look back at the old stuff very fondly, even if I wasn't. There's a lot of imperfections. There's a lot of imperfections and stuff, and it's just kind of like seeing the journey of how I came to this point. Like, it's basically more about the ideas that I put out and all the concepts and stuff and what they meant to me, rather than, you know, whether they were perfect or whether they were marketable or anything, or I could make money off of them. Like, that wasn't, like, the point of me doing it. I just like drawing. And I had a ton of ideas I just wanted to put out. Anyways, that's something I intend to do. And it's just funny with the AI stuff and me getting, like, pulled into that, like, Palworld thing, and of course the comet that I showed, because it's like, you know, I don't actually use a lot of AI stuff at all, like, with the tools out there. I do believe in, like, I do like the idea of, like, assistive AI stuff on a minor level. I'm mostly it's funny though, because, like, as someone who started out as doing traditional stuff, and it took me a while to, like, learn digital software for making art. Like I dabbled in it when I was younger, but it was still hard to like really pick it up, and I'm sure people have made fun of me for I still use Psy. Like anytime I'm doing like something digital art related, I use Psy, and then if it's not pixel art related, if it's pixel art related, I like using Piskel, I think that's what it's called, to do pixel art. And so I don't use like Photoshop or anything. I still use very like I have a tendency of using outdated stuff. Even before the charity project, for a while I really liked using Milkshake, and I definitely know people made fun of me for using that. Not in a bad way though. I understood. I was like, yeah, I'm a dinosaur. I like using. I didn't like using a lot of the new tools that probably streamline stuff, the modern things. So it is funny to consider, like, for me, being an artist is a bit slow to pick up on, like, new advancements in art technology. But, I've also I've dabbled in AI stuff a bit, but even then I don't really, I haven't made use of it much. I will say that the things AI related that I've used that are kind of useful are like upscaling tools for textures and stuff. Occasionally I've used that. Not too often though. It's just like very specific things that I'd use that for. And then what you're looking at here, and I had examples of it in the other map that I did, which is like a port with a bunch of enhancements, is a port of the Velvet Room, but there's a bunch of custom stuff in it. But I did, there's like a thing I use Monster Mash. I have a video on it, but it's kind of an AI thing, but you basically use it to inflate things that you draw. And so people can like draw stuff in it, and then it inflates it, and then it has kind of like a thing where it can help you like rig those parts. But it's definitely like, it's not on the same level of Blender at all. It's like its own little weird thing. And the only thing I've used that for is to take, instead of having an expensive phone, for photogrammetry purposes, it kind of helps you can take like a photograph or even your own drawing, because I've used it for like a drawing that I did of someone's like Sona before, to make a plush out of it. I drew their like kind of like a plush version of their Sona in a way to where I can make like kind of a plush out of it, and then I use Monster Mash to like, you draw a thing around this part, and then it inflates it and sort of like maps the texture to it, and then you do this part and this part and this part, but you have to do it in a very specific way to put basically piece the parts together, and you have to rig them. The thing is like, my point is like, you can use it to kind of inflate parts, and that's something you can do in Blender too, but it's like, whenever I've used it to like, make a photorealistic plush, it's 90% me like doing the manual work. Like, fucking Monster Mash is very, like, just involved in, like, inflating the pieces and doing the, some of the texture mapping, which I can still do myself, definitely. That's all stuff I already know how to do. But, it's just in a way to, like, make plushes that look photorealistic, so that's one thing I use it for. But other than that, I don't really use AI stuff that much at all. Like, in terms of me being an artist. So upscaling and just like finding a different way to do photogrammetry, which I think is pretty cool, in order to basically the idea with that is basically virtualizing physical stuff, so things like plushes and things like that which can be destroyed, things that can get destroyed in real life. I wanted to kind of like do photogrammetry and sort of like preserve them in a way in virtual reality, so that people can like interact with them, especially with my own stuff too, but yeah, the tweet kind of pissed me off. I shouldn't even look at Twitter anymore. It just makes me mad. You shouldn't go on Twitter either. That place is bad. Just, I haven't been using social media quite as much either. And I've been, because of course I did, I think in the past 4 years, there was COVID, and then I had a major family death due to COVID, and I was made the executor, and I had to execute the will. That took up a big chunk of my life. And then there was renovating a house and having to sell it and move out and all that fun stuff. That took up a lot. I actually managed to do... even in that time, actually, even for someone going through that shit, I actually managed to do a lot of creative stuff. I'd like to think, I've collaborated with people on their projects, and occasionally someone will hit me up and have me help them with something, so it's been nice. And then I've been trying to stream however much I can, not super frequently, but, it's nice to have people watch that stuff, and it's nice to for people to tune into this channel and see whatever random stuff I make for Vinny to use, because that's one thing probably people know me a lot more is the stuff that I do for Vinny Vinesauce. There's a lot of weird... I've done so many weird creative things for him to use, even outside of just modding games. That's one thing I liked about modding games too. When I first started modding games, I did it because I wanted to put my custom work in it. I draw stuff and then I put the work in there. I replaced the assets with my own assets that I made, and that's what I liked about modding. And then I made a lot of weird stuff, I've done a lot of weird creative things. So it's very sad. Me getting pulled into that stuff or having that VOD and used, and people just not doing their research on me and making assumptions and comments just based on the VOD and everything. It really sucks. But anyways, on the flip side, like I said, I appreciate if people have been there with me when I've gone through very heavy life stuff and haven't been able to put out as much creative stuff as I'd like to. I definitely, since I'm moved in now, I have a lot of projects on the back burner that I'd like to get to. I know there's a lot of people that have hit me up with potential, commission projects and stuff like that. So there's a lot that I can definitely do. It's just a matter of getting to it. And because I've put off had to put off so many creative stuff for a while just due to life. So and as for the streaming stuff, I'll get to it when I can. And if you follow my VOD channel where I just dump my VODs and whenever I can, I appreciate that. It's been really nice between the VR chat videos that I do on here where I cover different maps and some of the weird or lesser known games that I tend to sometimes cover on my VOD channel. It's really nice when I end up getting comments from the creators or devs of those particular products. It's really nice. That's why I want to keep doing this. And, I want to cover stuff that people don't know about quite as much. And also, of course, to work on my own creative stuff, too. That's kind of my passion. I want to get that stuff out there. Between the stuff that I do and, I want to cover all the nice creative things that other people work on that are lesser known as well. So, okay. I think that is it. I think that is the end of the video. Hopefully I don't see anything else. I'm going to stay off Twitter now, okay? I'm just going to close my eyes. And I'm gonna go away, okay? And then I'm gonna squirt them. I'm gonna squirt them with the water, okay? Goodbye.